The top running back is high on the Mountaineers. Can West Virginia fight off the Hurricanes, the Memphis, or a ton of other teams? Man, we got to talk about it now.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host here. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia. We're cutting it close to the basketball game, but we decided to do a game before, or a show before the game, and so thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff today, I think, so hang in there. You will enjoy this episode. This one's going to be brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla-y cakey flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we're talking about your team and the Mountaineers every single day. I'm not alone. It's right. It's obviously always Saturday fun day when Jackson Johnson joins the show.
How you doing today, good buddy?
Well, I appreciate you. You helped me get through a panic attack earlier, and that means a lot. They just hit me out of nowhere. So we was about to do the show. We had to push it back. Panic disorder is, and I don't mean to use this show as a platform for this, but mental health is a real thing, man. I can't control what my brain does. Unfortunately, my brain likes to go into the fight, flight, or freeze mode for whatever reason, and I had to push the show back. But thank you for helping me through that, and thank you guys for being patient while we got the show off the ground.
Happy to help, man. You're our friend, man. You're our friend. And I will say, though, about that 5 Hour Energy flavor, birthday cake flavor, I think they picked a good timing for that because today's the 4th day of your birth week.
All right, exactly. Yeah, I forgot that's how you celebrate stuff.
Yep.
All right, so on this episode, we're going to be talking about a couple things, obviously. Could West Virginia have an elite pass rush next year? I have been breaking down film all day, not of Toby Hostrip. We all know what he has. He has elite ability. You've seen how all those Oregon guys are performing at the Combine. Incredible. Several guys running sub 4.4 for them at the Combine. What an elite Combine it is this year from a number standpoint. But Toby Hostrip is one of those freak athletes, and he's just, the icing on the cake compared to, we're going to be breaking down 2 West Virginia pass rushers this year that maybe a lot of fans don't know about that have a lot of ability, specifically one guy I think can be really good for West Virginia and potentially be an all Big 12 honorable mention, maybe even all Big 12 player. So stick around for that in the second segment. But before we get there, we have to talk a little West Virginia recruiting. And West Virginia, just as of this morning, is heavily involved with one of the best running backs in the Midwest, class of 2027. And Savion Miller is a monster in the game. 5'10", 200-pound, number one running back in Iowa. 195 pounds is what I'm seeing here, actually, instead of 200. Sorry. He's got a compact lower half. When you see him, you'll notice that he's really thick through the hips and thighs. He's a natural leverage runner at 5'10", and he's already carrying basically 200 pounds, and that's no bad weight when you see him play. I like the way he moves. And, could he put on some more? Absolutely, if they wanted him to. He is a power runner to me. That's what he is more than anything else. He's ahead of the curve for the 2027 backs, and I think, you're not waiting 2 years for him to grow up physically. He's going to be ready pretty quick. He really runs through arm tackles well. He really gets, if he gets stopped on first contact, it's rare. And boy, does he keep driving his feet. And he's not just slippery, he is extremely sturdy on top of that. He also had 615 receiving yards. So he's an elite receiver. That's incredible. That's mismatched territory. Linebackers don't love covering compact backs who can accelerate, and this guy's got that. 26 touchdowns he had, so he's got short yardage, capacity. He's got goal line usage under his belt where he's at now, and the explosives are also on there. You'll have to see that.
Ooh, here we go.
We have to verify his top end speed. Haven't seen what that is yet. His long speed separation versus power 4 defenders is always going to be something you have to see for yourself. And then obviously his pass pro reps on film are pretty good, but they're limited. I haven't seen a ton of those. Would like to see more. If I'm going to give him a hard edge meter, I would give him an 8.1 out of 10 because I think this is a kid who already runs with college weight or mass, if you will. And I think this is a guy that can 100% turn into a really good player for West Virginia. Let's turn on the film here, and Jackson and I will react to him. And one thing you're going to notice about Savion Miller is he runs hard and he doesn't get tackled easily. He's also got good speed. First play you ever see him run is about 7 tackles broken. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put his shoulder down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tackles, maybe somewhere in there.
Oh, he's dodging. He's chewing defenders up like chicken nuggets. There we go. Boom.
Let's watch that first play again, and then let's watch that second play again too. So first of all, on this first play, look at the footwork. Look at the in and out. He is very good at cutting and accelerating. That's what he does. But, man, watch him put his shoulder down and really put the wood to somebody here in a sec. Boom, cut outside, and then he's gone straight upfield. There's one, but there's one. Bam. Monster hit and just on it. And now watch this cut right here out of the next play. Watch him make one cut and up the field right here. Boom, outside. Boom, back up. And you see the acceleration is there. There's a reason the Miami Hurricanes are after this guy like they are. Missouri, West Virginia.
Minnesota,
yeah. All really good power 4. Look at that cut right there back to the outside and back up the field. He goes. Very impressive. Here he is on a screen or an out pass to the flat. And in the end zone he goes. In the backfield here, this is what you'll run at West Virginia, right? Up the gut. And just splits linebackers and safeties and everything. And look at the speed. So, like I said, he's got really good speed. Here he is on the University of Northern Iowa field. Must be for a state championship. Look at him cut through traffic, get to the sideline, and then you see the speed on display again. So this is a guy that's got great burst. He's got great speed. He breaks tackles. 2 hands on the ball right there until he gets to the line, and then watch him take this thing to the house. Boom. Your thoughts, Jackson?
Get him over to Morgantown. I want to see this guy in Morgantown ASAP.
Nice soft hands out of the backfield as well.
Oh, there we go.
Looks like they utilize him out of the backfield quite often to run these screen passes. Great blocking downfield for him, but he always makes that first guy miss, it seems.
Love it. He's just making a miss.
Yeah.
I bet Iowa's definitely thinking, I wish we got this guy to stay home.
Pretty shocking that Iowa's not on this guy's radar, but or they're not on his radar. One of the two. Maybe Iowa, maybe he doesn't want to stay home. Some guys want to leave home.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's like, no.
Yeah. So obviously I like him. I think he's got a chance to be a really good player. I would love to have him in our running back class. I think he's really great for what Rich Rod and company want to do, which is in Rich Rod's offense, you have to have a guy that's decisive, that makes a cut and he's hitting it, right? And this is a guy that can do that. Rich Rod there's several different types of backs, obviously, and as most offenses do. But in Rich Rod's offense specifically, because of the zone schemes, that they run, you have to have a back that can see crease and hit crease. It's very important. Very exciting. All right, guys, we're going to break on that note. That's Savion Miller, 4-star running or number 1 running back in the state of Iowa, West Virginia, Miami, Minnesota, and Missouri, all on his radar. West Virginia makes the top 4 along those other 3. It's the upside down M versus the other M's. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Missouri, Miami,
and Minnesota
versus the W. But if you turn it upside down, it's an M, kind of. I don't know. Anyways, probably makes no sense.
I think West Virginia can bring out that Genjutsu to get them over.
Well, that's what we hope we can do again. Genjutsu.
Oh, I know.
Remember, most people that watch my show are like my age or older. They don't know what a Genjutsu is. I'm not saying everybody doesn't, but we'll go to break.
Well, afterwards, Missouri, Minnesota, Miami are going to be turning the page, washing the hands. Turning the page, washing the hands.
Rocco's Modern Life. There we go. Now that's a reference people might get. Okay, now we're going to break. On the other side, guys, I've got film for you. I've got a breakdown for you on 2 pass rushers at West Virginia that I think are going to make an impact. I really, truly do. I watched the film today on these guys. You know, I got the all 22, and because I've been asking for it for a couple of weeks from this specific guy, and he finally was able to get it to me. It's not easy to get. You have to have a subscription service, and you have to be a coach in some cases to get it. It's really hard to get, or unless you can just get somebody to give it to you. So I've been able to study a lot of film on 2 West Virginia players. We got to talk about them next. Stick around. With Jackson Johnson, of course. All right, guys, this episode is going to be brought to you by our friends at 5 Hour Energy. And right now with 5 Hour Energy, it's the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft. 18 different flavors to choose from, including new options like Confetti Craze, Fruity Rainbow, or Cotton Candy. There's something for everyone in this flavor draft, really. The board is set. The flavors are ready, and I've got my number 1 pick for the 5 Hour Energy Draft. And I got to be honest, guys, there are a couple that I would have loved to have had in this one. I've gone through a couple different variations of these and like a lot of them. But I think, you know, when it comes down to it for me, I'm going to have to go sour apple. It's the apple that bites back. It's crisp. It's a tangy taste. It's really, really tart, deliciously tart, bold, a little bit of sour, you know, a little bit of sweet, which is what you want. It's definitely worth your time. And if you want another pick, I would definitely, obviously, have to call you to the Confetti Craze because it's not overly sweet, but it is a delicious blend of rich and buttery, fresh baked confetti cake. Does that sound good? It is. Smooth vanilla frosting with a sprinkle of sweetness in every sip. Birthday cake inspired flavor, rich, indulgent sweetness from start to finish. Make sure you're checking it out at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. And of course, we have to talk about our friends, and we do love our friends at Game Time. And right now with Game Time, y'all, we have to be talking about tickets. Why? Tickets are important, man. Most people don't always have the chance to go places like, you know, Game Time allows this. The biggest stretch of the college basketball season is almost here. Excuse me. Buzzer beaters, bracket busters, and those unforgettable moments that everyone's talking about the next day. Being there live for something like that, that's bucket list stuff, man. And the hard part is always actually about getting the tickets, right? Long queues, prices jumping around, surprise fees at checkout. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation, and it's really how you unlock amazing ticket experiences in just a few snaps and taps. It's incredibly simple to use. The Game Time guarantee gives 100% and means 100% legitimate tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see, what you pay, period. So if you want to see a couple, you know, features, if you will, for this, let me explain 1 or 2 for you. There is a seat view feature, which is a game changer because it lets you see the panoramic view from your exact seat before you buy. Every stadium in the country, every venue in the country, they've got it. Also, the zone deals. They let you pick the section and save even more while Game Time selects the seat for you. But you save. No stress, no guesswork. Just a smooth experience from start to finish. That's exactly what you want during the busiest part of the season. And now, take the guesswork out of buying college basketball tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase with the terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code, and it's actually LOCKEDON, not college. Just Locked On for $20 off today, and download the Game Time app and do it today. And you'll ask yourself the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. It's segment 2, and let's crack open this dew. And Jackson, this dew is for you. What do you got? A coffee dew?
Had a little coffee dew, drank it all for a little bit.
Jackson Johnson is all over the place. You can find him at the Voice of College Football, Alabama. You can find him at Jacksonian, which is a show that he does on his own. And you can also check him out on SEC Live on the Voice of College Football, as well as a myriad of other places, especially here when we get into Jackson's world of college football when football season comes back around. And we may even do Jackson's world of March Madness come March when we do brackets.
Oh, that'll be fun. There we go.
Yeah, that would make it stink.
Oh, yeah.
Put some stink on that. All right, so
188 days till kickoff for the Mountaineers.
Let's go, baby. 6 months. That's all it is. We just got to get through summer. That's the worst thing about football season is it ends summer. That's really it, though. Let's talk Mountaineers pass rush. I don't want to be hyperbolic. I really don't, because I get it. Like, I'm a fan, and a lot of times I look through gold and blue colored glasses, and the West Virginia Mountaineers don't exactly have name brand guys over there on that side of the ball this year as far as the country knows about them. They don't have a David Bailey coming in from Stanford, if you will. But on film, specifically Harper Holloman, Western Kentucky transfer. Guys, he's one of the most impressive pass rushers I've studied coming into West Virginia. And so is Jamori Robinson. I do want to say that. If you go watch Jamori Robinson's tape from UTSA and don't come away impressed, then, you don't know ball. He had a 3rd-round grade on him for the NFL draft. No idea why he just didn't do that. I guess maybe he was chasing the bag at West Virginia, but, I don't know what happened with him on those 3 games where he was suspended. And then they said he came in, Zach Alley said it live. He came in out of shape. He was a little out of shape when he came back. And I just don't think he ever got it. I don't think he ever got – I don't know. I don't know if they got paid and was just like, screw it, or the team was kind of – I don't know. I don't know why he didn't work out. Sometimes guys are just busts. There's no way to explain it. It's not always a talent issue. Okay, so Harper Holloman. The reason I say that is because I know people are gun shy because of this one guy, but you can't overgeneralize because of one guy.
Yeah.
Or that would be like Beanie Bishop, who came from Western Kentucky and Minnesota, was never going to be good, and he was an All-American at West Virginia. You never know how a guy's going to hit. So let's get to Harper Holloman here, and I've kind of broken him down before on the show, but I haven't broken him down this much. So we're going to go deep on this. I'm going to get into some terminology with you guys. I'm going to explain what it means so you know what you're looking at. But to put this in perspective, last year, Harper Holloman, most pressures in the nation for FBS defenders in 2025. David Bailey had 31. Ruben Bain from Miami had 30. Keyshawn James Newby from New Mexico had 29. Tied with Harper Holloman for 3rd most in the entire nation at 29 pressures. That's elite. Keem Mesidor's on this list too, by the way. So is Jamon Tapp from Southern Miss. He also led Conference USA in pass rushing grade. Third in FBS in pressures. Led the Conference USA in pass rushing grade. Let that sink in. Pressures are as good as sacks in some cases, if not better, because pressures are you can be consistent at that. You can't sack a guy every time. If you can get pressure on a quarterback, and most quarterbacks, not everybody is, Tom Brady, it seemed like never really got rattled easy, even when pressure was happening. Ben Roethlisberger, guys like that. But most quarterbacks, when they're getting hit or pressured, will mess up eventually. And, 29 pressure shows consistency. Disruption is a plan. He's got rush plan execution, which I'm going to show you on film. And I think it's going to translate to him having a much better year this next coming year. He's not living up on cleanup sacks. He's consistently winning. That is something you can scale up, which we will do. All right. So if you look at how he pass rushes, I think it's really interesting. And I kind of want to jump into it. So let's play a piece of film here because I'm going to explain what he's doing on it. Oh, well, first of all, here's some film of him just brushing the passer. Great inside move there and sack. I mean, that's just a great move there. Look at the inside move. Boom. Great job. Just a great job overall. Great job getting to the quarterback, obviously. Love that play from him. I wish there was more out there that I could share, but it's just unfortunately that the film on all 22 for whatever reason it'll get copywritten. So, but we and it's this here. So, I want to go on a bit of a ride with you really quick here. So obviously, if you look at him on this play, and I'm going to explain it a little bit because before we go into it, let me explain it. On this play, he's in what's called a wide alignment, which means the tackle has to set out because he's so wide. In other words, the tackle has to come to him, right? The tackle's got to move out and to his left. That's by design because it opens the inside rushing lane to his right. Okay. What Harper Holloman is going to do is he is going to attack the inside right hip of the offensive tackle. It's going to cause the tackle to post. Okay. If you don't know what posting is, it's when an offensive lineman shifts his weight, basically, right? So I guess the easiest way to explain it would be the tackle drops his inside foot and anchors to protect the B gap, which shortens the edge, right? Your outside edge. That's how guys that have great spin moves or great outside rushing moves when they attack inside can win. And that's what he does. On this play, Harper Holloman forces the tackle to post, and it's all a chest move because he's set out so wide. It makes the tackle have to come out to him, like I said. So the obvious counter is to attack him inside, which just forces him to protect B gap, which allows him to counter that. That's what this is right here. So watch Harper Holloman work, and this is pro-level stuff. Here he is set out wide on this play. You can see how wide he is set out here. And watch the tackle move out towards him. Now watch him attack the inside right hip right there. Boom. Now he spins, pins that right arm or that left arm.
I can't wait to see when his commitment will be. That'll be cool.
And gets to the quarterback. He's already committed to West Virginia. This guy is.
Yeah, there's a little soundbite that happened. Ooh, wow. Oh man, but yeah, it'll be cool to see some magic from him, from the Western Kentucky Wizard, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he's a guy that can make a lot of, make a lot of guys look silly in the pass rushing lane of things. And I think he's a guy that I really enjoy watching on film specifically. He's got talent, and I think he's got the ability to do more than he did at Western Kentucky. Personally, I mean, look, the pressures are elite. He didn't have a ton of sacks, and that's just a flat out truth. But I do think that he's a guy that has the ability to get more. I would call him a 1-for-1 replacement of Curtis Jones for sure, at least pass rushing wise. Even though Jones didn't have a ton of numbers on the pass rushing side, Jones has the athleticism to do it. It's just when you're doing things like he just did, where you're forcing tackles to come out and you're countering their counters and then you're countering that, that's how you know a guy's advanced or advancing. Watch out for Harper Holloman this coming year. Because I think he's a guy that a lot of people aren't talking about yet, and that's fair. I understand why not, but he did have a good year. He was a junior last year at Western Kentucky, So I don't know. What would be a fair thing to ask as far as so obviously if you look at what he did last year, the numbers were, let me go back and look at them really quick. I thought I had them pulled up, but I guess not. All right. Harper Holloman had looking like I had it on here somewhere. What the heck happened to it? There we go. Got his page up here. Let's see. We know about the pressures. We know about I don't think he had a ton of sacks, maybe 2 or 3. Unless I'm wrong. Maybe I looked at the wrong thing earlier when I was reading it, but let me try another route here. Or Jackson, can you look it up while I move on to the next guy, and you can just update me here in a second?
Yeah.
Look up Harper Holloman last year at Western Kentucky. Just look at it. Yeah, look at his tackles for loss, and sacks, if you can. And I'll move on to the next guy. We're going to go to break here while we're doing all this, and then when we come back, Jackson can update us, and then move on to the other pass rusher we need to talk about right after the break. All right, guys, talking about our friends from Coast on this one, and Coast is pretty cool. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's definitely worth checking out, and here's why. Coast Pay is giving Locked On College listeners up to $2,000 credit for your business when you get started today. If you manage a crew, construction, HVAC, landscaping, any operation with trucks on the road, you already know how messy gas and material spending can get. Cards get shared out, receipts disappear, and month end turns into a headache for you. Coast Pay fixes a lot of that. And Coast Pay is the modern fuel card and expense management tool built specifically for fleets. Fuel, maintenance, materials all in one card with real control and instant visibility. Every transaction shows up the moment it happens. No surprises. If someone fuels up at an odd time or tries to buy something outside their limit, you're going to know that instantly. And real-time alerts also happen for you, so you always know who's spending what and where. Automatic receipt capture is another thing that makes month end simple. Fraud protection with employee check-ins by text happen. No shared pins. Works anywhere Visa is accepted, so no detours to specific stations. You don't have to worry about that either. It's built for operators who don't have time to chase paperwork. And unlike old fuel cards, there are no contracts or commitments, just smarter expense control. Right now, Coast is offering our listeners up to $2,000 credit when you get started at coastpay.com/lockedoncollege. That's coastpay.com/lockedoncollege to see how you can earn up to $2,000 credit. Terms apply. That's Coast Visa, and the Coast Visa commercial credit card is issued by Celtic Bank, and all cards are subject to credit approval. Back with the legend himself, Jackson Johnson, who should have some numbers for us on Harper Holloman.
Oh, yeah, we've got some numbers on Harper Holloman. As for 2025, he had 19 solo tackles, 20 assisted tackles, 39 total tackles as a whole, 5.5 tackles for losses, which were 20 yards, and an average of 0.42 yards, 2 sacks, and 4 passes broken up, 6 quarterback hurries, and 1 kick/punt block for 2024. And when you look at the Western Kentucky Jacksonville State game that ended the regular season in 2024, he was the one that put out the game-saving tackle for Western Kentucky, in which led Western Kentucky having a rematch with Jacksonville State in the Conference USA title a week later. So that's huge right then and there.
Wow, interesting. So interesting that he doesn't have, more than a couple sacks, which is what I thought, but I wanted to verify it. Just because he's so athletic on film, he got there a lot. Like if you watch him on film, he hits the quarterback several times a game, but it's like this close. So, and he was getting chipped a lot. He was getting chipped by running backs. He was getting, the move up to the Big 12, maybe he becomes, human or even more human and doesn't have an impact. But I think he's got a chance to make an impact. I really do. I mean, when you watch this play, like if you just watch this one play here that I have of him, it's just one play, and we don't know who the player he went against is, so it's very limited context. But you can't tell me he doesn't look explosive and athletic there. So, and especially on this play. I love the spin move off of this. It's a great move.
I can't wait to see when his commitment will be. That'll be cool. And that soundbite was playing again.
Oh, was that you?
Yep.
Oh. I was wondering what that was.
8:30.
I was thinking, dang on. Once again, you got caught talking when I was screen recording something. Okay, we got another player to talk about here. And this guy had, a good season as well. By the numbers, better than just a little Harper Holloman. 37 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, almost 3 sacks, pass breakup, 27 pressures. 27 pressures is a lot too. And you can see that is exactly what he was after when you consider West Virginia, right? Because I think Zach Alley was looking at pressures and havoc rate because those things all matter a lot. And look, West Virginia's top. Devin Grant had 24. Reed Carrico had 24. Those are your top in pressures last year. So 27 pressures, not bad at all. We'll take it for sure. So, he's a guy that's got some interesting stuff going on too. And I like him, man, as a guy that can really set the edge in the run game specifically, but can also rush the passer. I mean, he can do it. Now the numbers aren't blowing you away with him either, but let's play the film on, David Afogo. If I didn't say his name yet, my apologies. And there's a nice play.
Oh, man. Boom.
Nice hustle play.
Every day he's hustling.
I love that move there with the little get out of here. Yeah, so ton of huge nice motor, sack. Right? Huge motor. And you can see he's got the ability to get there. Like, look at that motor. He's another guy. So, I like them both. I think they're both good players. They're definitely going to have to play well for West Virginia. Put Toby Hostrop on one side and one of these guys on the other side. And I do think that West Virginia will get pressure this year on guys. I do. But, certainly we would have liked to have somebody with more production. which, I mean, obviously Ezekiel Durham Campbell had that at Coastal. He had the 6.5 sacks or whatever it was. He's coming in too. Hostrip is obviously, the big wild card. If he can just turn into half of what people are expecting from him, then he's going to have a great year as a redshirt freshman. But obviously there's a lot of – this is one of those things where you just need a couple guys to hit. And I don't know if they're going to. You never know. And I'm sure you're never sure. But I really do think that these guys are all going to make an impact. I just don't know how big. That's why you have multiple of these guys, so you can at least hit on one of them, you would think. And I do think both of them have a chance, have the ability. And David Afogo was only a sophomore last year. So those numbers as a sophomore are pretty good. It wouldn't be a shock at all if he took a leap. So, both those guys are just examples of guys that West Virginia has on the edge. And if you'll notice, both of them are not only do they both of them are capable of setting the edge in the run game and rushing the passer both. They're not just pure speed guys, Jackson.
Oh, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what the guy's going to bring for 2026 for the Mountaineers.
Well, there's only one way to go.
And that's up.
I appreciate you for being here, man. Appreciate you for helping me get through that panic attack earlier. That was rough. First one I've had in 6 months. It sucks. I hate panic attacks. Panic disorder sucks, man. But, guys, thank you for being here. Like the video if you don't care before you leave. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And share the video out, too, when you get time. West Virginia in the running for the number one running back in Iowa. Can the pass rush get better? That was the show, and I appreciate you guys so much for being here. We will be back after the BYU game today. Win, lose, or draw. Hopefully after a win. Would love to see the Mountaineers turn it around and get better. But, hey, we'll see, right? I mean, I'm not holding my breath. I picked West Virginia to lose the game whenever I had David on, and that's just at this point how I feel. But we'll see what happens. I would love to see them win that game and beat a ranked team. And, could West Virginia have some confidence, coming back in? Beyond that, I don't know. But, today's the game to turn it around if you're going to try it. Hopefully they do, and I'll see you as soon as it's over right here in Locked On West Virginia. Jackson Johnson doesn't want you to forget one thing. And what's that, Jackson?
Want you to roll damn tide, but Mountaineer Paul would like to remind you to cue those country roads.
Good night, guys.